Everyone are excited about the retraining event and maxing their main legions. But most players are making a huge mistake. They are ditching their infantry. Today I will show you why infantry might be the most important unit in your entire army. Let's start with the elephant in the room, and this is retraining event. Sound amazing, right? And this is basically an event that is going to allow you to retrain some of your troops to other troops. Right now I don't have it going on my kingdom, but I'm definitely prepared for this. And this is on my free-to-play account. I start over. I'm building a beginner guide for you guys, so don't forget to subscribe to this channel. When the guide comes, you can go and check it out. But right now we're having arms exchange. I'm talking about this event, and what you can actually do with this event is retraining, for example, swordsmen, or like I like to call them infantry, into ballista or vestos, or even in donkey. You can make your infantry in donkey, and other way around. You can retrain your ballista into infantry. But where is actually the problem here? The biggest problem here is people become single troop, and most likely if you're mage main, you want to retrain, for example, troops that you're not using every day in these Vestos or Celestials. And from here actually comes the biggest problem is, you're going to be, it's not actually a problem, you're going to build your main troop extremely strong. You can retrain 50k, right now this is in season 1, you can retrain another 50k from the level 2, this is level 2 units, and you can retrain extra 50k from the tier 3, where actually you can add also Celestials, since they are starting from the tier 3 and above. So if we make a small calculation, is 50k and oh my god, 50k 3 times, this is 150k of your troops is going to get retrained. If you get the benefits, if you retrain tier 1, tier 2 and tier 3, it's absolutely the same in the latest season, but there is not only 50k, there is like 300k. So in total you can retrain 900k troops. This is close to 1 million troop. This is like 20% from my total legion count. I'm around like 5 million troops. And normally in a situation like this, the main target is going to be the infantry, since people are not using that much infantry and cavalry. But right now cavalry is become extremely hot item on the market. More and more people are switching something like a side troop, or they completely become cavalry mains, and yeah, they start using cavalry. But infantry is something that people may actually make a mistake with this troop. And infantry are the backbone of your flexibility on the PvP and also in PvE. By PvE I mean behemoths. And I have a question for you guys. Have you ever retrained of your infantry yet? Or you are holding on them? So I see this trap that people may actually fall in, and this is basically spending of their infantry, since this event from first look is looking like, okay, I can retrain couple troops, but the number here, which I agree with this number, I mean, it's definitely is good to be a hard number. It's 50k now, in the latest season it's 300k. So you can really make a difference, and every day you're training, for example, Vestos, you're training also infantry, cavalry, Celestials, depending of course what kind of fraction you are. But there was always a space for infantry, because you're not going to only retrain, for example, Vestos, and not let the rest of the training camps like sleeping. You're going to use all of your training camps to build bigger and bigger army. So for now there was no issue with the infantry. The problem with the infantry come from the latest seasons, where people was using infantry for the rallies. From there become a lot of that. Goresh Skogu, Mogro Goresh as a garnison, Goresh Mogro, all these rallies, which actually give the best traits, was filled with infantry. Gates, also Gates defense, Gates rally, all these things was putting infantry as a dead troop at the end of the season. And right now with this event you can even fall in this trap and retrain the rest of the infantry you're having. But infantry is extremely important. And don't forget, this is just the surface. The real power of infantry is in the battlefield, tanking strength. Now let's talk about what really make infantry irreplaceable and their unmatched frontline defense. Lately, I think most of the people are familiar with the changes that is happening in the Call of Dragons. Some troops get boosted, some don't. So far, I don't see long range warfare for the marksmen, but the cavalry, here is the thing, especially for the marksmen, as a mage man, marksman was getting the best, the best thing from the mages with this long range warfare, but that was a seasonal talent. There is a talent that is built in the troop, change it. And I can give the cavalry, for example. We all know that the cavalry, when they rush, was getting 100% range when they strike a ranged legion. It can be mages, it can be marksmen, it didn't actually matter. But right now they're also getting this Valiant, which is increasing their attack for 10 seconds when they take some damage, and so on. And also reducing the damage taken by 80% when they strike. All these things was something that boosts the cavalry. That's why I say from the retraining, people may actually go for the infantry to retrain infantry in, for example, if they're mage main, in mages, not cavalry, because cavalry right now is something like a hot item on the market. So why infantry become extremely valuable? So far in the seasons, we was presented with Madeline, Garwood. I think Ilyana I can also count as a hero supporting the infantry because it's having a shield, it's having normal attack damage reduction, extremely important. Also defense bonus up to 30%, and also some healing. All these things together is building extremely strong survivability for the legion. But we also was having, Madeline Garrett in this thing. After this was presented Goris Kogu, and people for the first time actually check it out as an infantry, as a troop that can maybe make merits, maybe will not, no one know. And the test there start. So far for me in the Call of Dragons on one-on-one, I don't think there is existing legion that can beat Goris Kogu. But this is my personal opinion. Let me know your opinion in the comments below. But with the Ironclad and increased survivability, the infantry becomes something that, just to show you guys, I think most of the people are familiar with Ironclad, but it's something like 50% chance to get one stack, which is reduced the range damage by 5%. So, and this can stack 8 times. This is up to 40% reduction of the range damage. So from there, people start building some strategy. The only thing you're going to see like 80-90% from the troops on the battlefield is actually range one. It's actually range one. Previously, before like one season, because right now we start seeing a lot of cavalry and we start seeing a lot of infantry. But back in the days was only range legions, and still till this day is mainly range legions. So this is giving great advantage of the infantry. And alliances is not stupid. They always want their players to bring some infantry. This is not grateful work, if I can actually say, to go out with your infantry, because the moment your infantry go out from the castle is basically the moment where you know that your hospital is going to have like 600k, okay, not 600k, but 60k is going to go directly in the hospital. But still, with infantry, the things is way more different, and you're going to see always over and over in the fights. You're going to see some infantry striking, the enemy push their infantry in front, whoever finish their infantry first is going to be the legion or range bow that is going to start retrieving from the battlefield. Because you're going to get striked with no infantry, you're going to get striked from the enemy infantry, you're going to start getting striked from the enemy range legions, mage, marksmen, and since no infantry, you're also vulnerable to get attacked from the cavalry, because one single legion infantry can stop cavalry, and cavalry don't have that much HP, but their artifacts is 600 rage. This is like 2 times more faster. This thing is going to get casted 600 rage from a mage artifact. This, for example, Infernal Flame, 1600. So you can imagine how fast the cavalry is hitting and killing. So with no infantry, you're basically I don't want to use this word, but you're going to get destroyed with couple words. So infantry becomes something like a must-have on the battlefield. It's no exception. And this is something that I want to say a big thank you to all the whales and krakens, just because this is mostly the players that is going to bring like 3-5 legion infantry. Let me know in the comments if you know a person who is, you know, going out with like 5 infantry legions just to support the front lines of your alliance wars when there is nobody there with the infantry. And if you're starting to see how important infantry really are, drop a comment. I'd love to know how you're currently using them. And I have a question for you guys. How often do you see your front lines get crushed just because you don't have any kind of infantry? For me personally, this happens a lot, and I'm extremely careful when I play wars. Of course, I'm zoomed out, but I can see, you know, the infantry from our side, how they jump. I see in the big bow, is there some kind of, for example, this is the mage bow. I see if there is infantry here, or maybe here, something that is around the legion of marksman and mages. So when the enemy come, I know somebody can actually send something to actually block the enemy infantry. Or if from somewhere some cavalry try to strike us, I know this guy, for example, this infantry legion can go and strike this cavalry. It's extremely important to have infantry on the battlefield. I think most of the people understand it, but with this event, people are trying to get the best benefits from, you know, retraining. And also, in general, people are not using that much infantry. You can just use them, extremely valuable. Like, for example, we're going to talk about the strategy, but yeah, infantry is extremely important. But infantry aren't just a meat shield. Let's talk about the strategy. Now here's where the things become juicy. We're talking about the meta is evolving. I'm talking about blink artifact plus infantry for the battle control. And I saw this when I was watching Echo, this alliance Echo against WoW. In general, with couple words, there is a choke point on both sides. Okay, maybe this one was a little ugly. Like this, and on one side you have WoW. Let's say WoW. And on other side you have Echo. Something I noticed is when the WoW was chasing Echo, they was going so deep in choke point. And when the Echo push, they start using blink infantry. Now this is not a new strategy in Call of Dragons. This is very old strategy, but I just forgot how valuable it is strategy. So if Echo teleport couple infantry legions just to stop all these legions that are here from WoW, they can easily destroy these all legions from WoW. And this is what it happened. I think maybe around 40 or 50 legions was sent home with maybe 5 up to 10 infantry just did the blink teleport. But this is one of the strategy that you can actually do with the infantry. And this is more like alliance a synergy, knowing who exactly is going to teleport when the counter push happen. There is specific roles, I'm guessing, for the people who already bring the infantry and they wait a signal to start teleporting on behind the enemy range legions and basically make this beautiful stack of the enemy range legions who get destroyed, because the moment the infantry stop you, you're going to see it. It's going to be everything with blue, and you're going to see as a red enemy infantry, and you know right now you're blocked. And most of the people, something I noticed, they basically panic when this thing happen, and they start trying to go out from this blockage from the infantry. And like this, they're not targeting any legion. They're not executing any rage skill because there is no target. They're trying just to escape. And the artifacts also don't execute. So when I end up in situation like this, I just start shooting over the enemy legions, because I know either I'm going to go out with maybe 80-90% casualties, and maybe I'm going to save like 2-3 legions who is going to be on 10 HP. So I better just counter-attack in situation like this. But you just see how the infantry is extremely valuable. This is just for the choke point, but it's going to can apply also for open field. It's a little hard for the open field because, you know, the range legion can move in left and right and can pass out your infantry, but Spiritborn Torque with Goresh and Skogo is going to at least keep you for 5 seconds in the same place, which is enough for the enemy to strike your legions. And again, there is a blockage in front lines. And I'm going to give you one short strategy also. This is in the Alliance mana pits you're going to see over and over in this game. Sometimes people just put infantry in the mana pits, so when the enemy pass this choke point and they start attacking, all this infantry in this Alliance resource pit go out and they block from the behind. So you know, the blink strategy is one thing on hand, but you can use basically many other strategies. And I have a question for you. Have you ever used the blink block to trap whole enemy squad inside in the choke point or open field? So far we have covered why retraining, you have to be extremely careful when you retrain your infantry, why infantry are critical tanks, and how they dominate the battlefield strategy. Let's move out of the battlefield for a second and let's talk about for what else infantry is extremely valuable. We already know for the battlefield, and here I'm talking about the engineer supremacy with infantry. Oh my god, this word engineer from time to time hit me. But yeah, infantry is having the biggest engineering in Call of Dragons. As you can see, where is the engineering? Is 12. If I check any other troop, okay, you can basically do it by yourself. You're going to see the engineering is extremely low. Now, where is actually infantry going to apply that? Because you have a limit when you're building some tower. I think it was something like 2160 something. I'm not like 100% sure. But with less legions going for building, you're going to have more legions on the battlefield. This is one of the things. Infantry is having great HP that even if they start getting hit from somewhere, they're going to sustain on the battlefield and have better survivability from any other legion. So for building or any kind of activity like this, they're going to be perfect. And the other thing, when your alliance triggers some of the alliance technology, like for example building and battlefield, this is going to increase the building speed by 500%, and most of the times people are just sending infantry to cover this 500%. It's not a clever idea to send some legions that don't have good amount of engineering. The main reason is there is specific amount of slots that you can have for building specific, for example, tower or alliance fortress or whatever, even keep. There is just specific amount of people, that legions that can do it. So why not have the better legion? Why just throw your infantry and not get benefits to support your alliance? Now, mostly the role of the infantry is basically to support your alliance, and by supporting your alliance, you're going to win the KVK with couple words. And by winning the KVK, more shards to buy pet skills, more rewards, you're going to feel better. Farming level 10 notes in the dragon zone, all these things is going to be in your hands, but you have to use your infantry, and I think infantry till these days is extremely valuable. Engineering is just one of the things, but when you make a push, if the enemy is using staff play, they're going to start striking the legions that is building. If they're not infantry, they're going to die fast. There is just so many situations where you can actually use infantry, and it's going to be way better from point of engineering. And I personally run heroes like Nico and Craig, or Nico with Ordo. The main reason I use these heroes, even though that this is a marksman heroes, is Nico is having engineering. It can go up to 15%. Also, Craig is having some engineering. Just giving you some seconds tips. I think this is... yeah, here engineering bonus is even better from the Nico, so Craig is something like a must-have. Pretty easy to awake this hero because it's an epic one. And also Ordo, I think, was giving some extra engineering. Engineering bonus can go up to 20%. Even this Craig and Ordo can outperform Nico. But this is the Legions. And there is an artifact for engineering, just to mention also this thing. This is Potion of Vigor. Your Legion get engineering 100% for 30 minutes. This is absolutely crazy. So this is even going to support you to build even more. Building engineering extra 27%. And I think I can actually level up this thing for sure. No, I cannot actually level up. But you see, with this crazy engineering, you just need couple people to go there. You don't need many people. And the things is going to become more and more faster. And you can, of course, you can drop a comment for your best engineering combo that you think is best for you. I'm always looking for a new one to test. And in general, do you have dedicated engineering legions for the cave buildings, pushes, and this type of things? And finally, let's talk about the utility and everyday value. We already talked about the PvP, we already talked about the engineering, and I'm going to share with you where I everyday use infantry. Everyday use cases for infantry. And one of the ways I actually use infantry is for leveling up. When I get a new hero, for example, let's say I get Lilia, it's new, it's level 1. The way I go is I go with infantry and I target enemy infantry patrols. Like this, I'm not going to get counter, so my Lilia is basically level 1 in this example. So she's not going to get reduced at the legion, and the enemy is going to, you know, the darkling patrol is going to fight with my infantry, and I'm going to level up Lilia way more faster because she at some point is going to be only 40 combat points per fight, and I can just go with infantry tank. She's not going to receive any kind of damage. If the infantry get low on HP, I can go back in my castle, go out again, and again continue tanking and continue leveling up my new hero. This is one of the things I do. The other one is just going and getting the alliance, the K chest, basically this thing here. I go and with infantry, currently in the home kingdom, this thing I don't even need infantry to kill them. Oh, this big group here. Oh my god, let me just take out this thing. But yeah, this is also other place where I use infantry that is helping me, especially in the KVK 2 chests. If I don't have infantry, it's going to be hard for me. But if I have infantry for the 2 chest, I point 2 chests, here is 5, it's way more easy to clear them up with my Goresh Mogro. And one more place that I think most of the people start to recognize, this is the behemoths. Whatever behemoth you're fighting, you need infantry there. You need infantry. It's not something that you do on the daily basis, but somebody have to bring infantry. Currently for the deer bear, for example, you may need like 2 infantry or maybe 3 infantry legions so they can taunt the behemoth and people can, you know, move around the map. Definitely one tank is not a great idea. For the necro giant, you may tank, for example, the necro giant, and you can tank with the mage the giant. I mean, there is a lot of strategy, but in general, you're going to also need infantry for the behemoth fights. And let me know in the comments, because leveling is extremely important. What is your goal legion for farming or hero leveling up? I share for me is infantry with the hero that I'm leveling up. I want to see more opinions about this question because it's extremely important leveling the heroes, even though we are not experiencing, you know, this level reset in the new season. And you see now why infantry are just not an option. Is something that you have to have. They're a must. From tanks to traps to builders to daily grinders. They all do that. So I guess this will for this video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to hit one like, also subscribe to this channel if you're new here, become a member if you want to support the channel and get some extra benefits like early access to my videos, also to how my stream history I have on this channel. And have a great day. See you in the next video.